person we may recognise by their voice is Paul Kerensa, a writer and performer who's a regular on BBC Radio 2's Pause for Thought. Paul has been researching the history of religious broadcasting, and he's brought me here to Christchurch in Peckham, where a lesser-known pioneering pastor harnessed the power of radio for God. And, say it quietly, he beat the BBC to it.
In this building in 1922, 30th of July, was Britain's first religious broadcast.
1922, that's 2 years before the official church broadcast in St Martin's in the Field.
Absolutely. It was Dr. James Ebenezer Boone, the preacher at the time, who had this idea to use this new thing called radio to actually broadcast blessings beyond walls for the first time and reach people where they were. And he worked it out himself. He went to the roof of this building here in Peckham and he wired it up, and he went 5 miles away to Blackheath, and he transmitted into this church to a packed congregation with just a loudspeaker here, and it was heard all around the country. Now this is a modern day replica, but it's a candlestick telephone of the type that Dr. Boone would have spoken into back in the day. And then this, the Crystal set. This is a wireless set, a genuine radio set from 1922, 1923, and this was what you had to listen to your radio programs on.
So he had the skill, but he also had the vision, didn't he?
Absolutely. He said that no time should be wasted, that the church should not squabble on this, that they should seize this opportunity as one that otherwise may pass by to actually reach people where they were.
So what was in the programme?
So we know that he gave this sermon of approximately 15 minutes. There were jokes in it, which I was as amazed to see as anybody. He even tells us what hymns he played via gramophone record. And there were prayers and there were blessings, and he was even receiving live telegrams from those listening in on a beach in Frinton, offering to have a whip round and send a collection to him.
I thought it would just be within a 5-mile radius, but Frinton, I wonder if anything realised just how significant this moment was.
Well, absolutely. This was such a landmark moment. I find it inspirational, really, to look back and think of not just Dr. Boone, but those other early religious broadcasters who really saw this new technology and the opportunity it brought. And I still don't take that for granted today.
Well, for those of us who work on songs of praise, this is where it all started. And I mean, what about the hymns?
Well, delightfully, Dr. James Boone noted down some of those telegrams that he received. And one of the messages from Coventry said that I was listening on my one-valve set, and I was delighted to hear the strains of "O God, Our Help in Ages Past." So thanks to that, we know that was one of the hymns that was broadcast at Britain's first broadcast church service.